All right, y'all, sleeper stretch, PAILs, rails. This is to help open up the capsule for internal rotation, which most of you are missing, right? This is a more advanced, it's one of those things where unfortunately it's the best and really only way to do a PAILs, rails for internal rotation. And the risk is a little higher than most other PAILs, rails, but if you listen to your body and listen to the instructions, you should be fine, right? So if this is your first time doing the internal sleeper stretch PAILs, rails, I strongly suggest that you only ramp up and flip it and engage your musculature 60, 70% of your absolute maximum effort for today and the first couple times you do it until you get the mechanics down and the angles down and the feeling of it down. And then as you get more confident and comfortable in that, you can start ramping up to the 100%, right? I'm also under the assumption that you know how to do PAILs, rails and how to set up and how to execute the PAILs, rails if you're doing this video. So you're gonna need a block for your head coming off to your side. I'm placing my arm underneath me, directly out in front of me. Head is coming on the block, right? I'm in this hook lying position and I'm trying to get my shoulder blade and my shoulder underneath my body, right? So what most people do when they set up for this, their shoulder, if you can see it, will kind of come out and slip out underneath them towards their ear. So shoulder comes out underneath the body and is shrugged towards the ear. We're trying to get our shoulder underneath us to the best of our ability with our arm directly out in front of us, all right? So from here, with our shoulder underneath us, I'm going to bend my elbow, maintaining that 90-degree angle, right? And then I'm going to internally rotate, so hand comes down towards the ground, right? That's shoulder internal rotation. Now, if you're stuck and if you have poor internal rotation, as you come down into shoulder internal rotation, the stretch should be felt on the top and back of the shoulder, right? So when I bring myself into internal rotation, I should feel it at the top and the back of the shoulder. If you're feeling pain in the front of the shoulder and the closing angle, you either have to maneuver yourself to the point where you don't feel that pain anymore, or you need to come out of this altogether, all right? But for those of you who are feeling good, shoulders underneath us, going into internal rotation, that top hand is coming right below the wrist and pressing us into a deeper, our passive, essentially in shoulder internal rotation. This is the sleeper stretch. And again, trying to keep our shoulder underneath us that whole time, not letting it come out from under our body. If you feel like you need to pull your shoulder underneath you a little more and reset, great, go ahead and do that, that's fine. Now, a few key things here. We're trying to keep a 90-degree angle at the elbow. As we ramp up and flip it, people tend to straighten their elbow when they are externally rotating for the PAILs, and then for the rails, a cue is that you drive your arm down, wrist towards your crotch belly button. That'll help keep the 90-degree angle of the elbow. Something that Hunter Fitness likes to say is pretend you're arm wrestling a ghost, because that top hand is not going to be helping you in the rails position. Now, for those who are slightly confused, that's going to make sense as we move forward. So pull yourself or press yourself into your passive internal rotation, feeling a 7 out of 10 stretch on the back, top of the shoulder, back of the shoulder. No pinching or pain in the closing angle, right? Hanging out here. PAILs, rails, ramping up, PAILs, 10%, 20%, 100% effort is this arm and hand is driving into the top hand isometrically through external rotation of the shoulder, right? So this is meeting this resistance, 10%, 20%. Again, under the assumption you've already been here for 1 to 2 minutes, this is just a review, 10%, 20%, 30%, ramping up all the way to 100% effort for 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flipping it, 100% max effort. This hand stays where it's at, and you're, again, a silly cue, arm wrestling a ghost, driving internal rotation towards that crotch, belly button area, away from that top hand, 100% effort for 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Top hand goes back on the bottom hand, relax that shoulder, and now hang out in that new end range for 3, 2, 1, and relax. That is your sleeper stretch. Cars before, cars after, move forward.